悪霊退散。
The first thing that I want to talk about in this video is Tekken 8 being nominated by the Golden Joystick 2024 Awards for the Ultimate Game of the Year category. Now, when you look at the games that's also in here, it's like, wow, right? Wow. You have Silent Hill 2, you have Dragon Age, you have Final Fantasy, Black Myth, Astrobots, Helldiver 2, Tekken 8, and then Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That's all the games that's currently listed here. And to see Tekken 8 be considered one of the games of the year, you guys know I don't agree with that. I think that Tekken 8, it's not that it's a bad game. I think that it's currently not representing the best that games have to offer. This game needed to get off and running in year one incredibly strong, and they did not do that. They had controversies pretty much every month since release, and there's multiple different games on this list that did not do that. At this point, we'll be lucky if Tekken 8 wins fighting game of the year, because with the golden joysticks, they're very loose with what they consider a fighting game. Last year, the Game Awards was calling Sifu a fighting game, so Dragon Ball Sparking will probably be considered a fighting game, and if that's the case, it will be taking home the trophy. Now, even though that game is facing similar issues that Tekken 8 is, monetization is starting to make its way into the game. You have balancing starting to really shine through, and then also you could talk about bugs and glitches popping up left and right. It seems like Bandai Namco in their fighting game division is struggling with similar issues across the board. One of those, and this is kind of the controversy that I'm talking about, someone tweeted at Harada at Tekken, and they said, could we get back Zafina's full Tekken 6 outfit? So you can just see that every single time Tekken does something with the shop, someone, somehow is very upset with it. And like I said, this is something that true game of the years do not continuously and repeatedly do. But I think they know they have a lot of work they need to do, and we're all looking forward to what they will offer in the next coming months, right? Speaking of what's to come in the next couple of months, we have something incredible here. This is not something that I was expecting, but here it is. To preference this, you know, Harada always talks about how Tekken is the last 3D fighting game. You only have 2D and platformers left, right? And a lot of people would like to see guest characters from these different games make an appearance, right? Like a guest character from Virtua Fighter, a guest character from Soul Calibur, a guest character from DOA, right? But Harada's kind of been saying over and over and over again that it's not really Tekken's job to revive these franchises. Because basically, the reason why he say that is because not that he doesn't want to help, but these companies have to be willing to give fighting games a chance, right? If Sega doesn't want to make a new fighting game, then Harada putting Akira in Tekken isn't really doing anything for anyone. You can argue it's the players, but it would be more helpful if Sega was willing to make a Virtual Fighter. Then Harada putting that in the game would benefit, would just have greater value. So that's kind of why he's been against like collaborating with some, so he say, right? We don't know who the final character is, but that's why he's been against collaborating with some of these games, because he wants them to commit to making a 3D fighting game, so Tekken 8 isn't the only one left. Now we have big news. Sega, 4 hours ago at the time of recording, they confirmed that they are developing a couple of things. So we have a slew of titles in development right now that falls into the legacy bucket, which we announced last year at the Game Awards. Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, Streets of Rage, Shinobi, and we have another Virtual Fighter being developed. And then in certain instances, we're doing animation series or live action films to augment that part and be a part of those roadmaps. But they're making new games for some of these legacy titles, and in some aspects they're planning live action films and animation series to coincide with the releases of whatever they're planning. And you would have to imagine guest character collaborations would also fall in line. Like when Virtual Fighter's time come, one could hope that Tekken 8 is the route that they choose to go. Because if you look back at this tweet made by Harada on 7/28/2024, someone tweets at him, "Let's make it happen," saying put Virtual Fighter Akira as the final character. He says first they should announce Virtual Fighter 6, then we could talk. Now this is kind of confirmation that the character probably won't happen for the final character, but season 2, season 3, we don't know how long this Virtual Fighter game is down the road, but This is a major hurdle that's been uplifted. And, you know, now that they have said we are making a game, players, I think, once again, should ask Harada to try to get in there nice and early and say, let's make something Tekken 8 so we can release our character maybe at the same time as your game or before your game or something. It's just perfect, bro. This is what we wanted. This is what Harada wanted. It's here. Let's try to take advantage of it. Moving on, though, the next thing that I want to focus on is also something that can happen for Tekken 8 in the future, and Harada says not in the distant future. I don't know what he means by that, but we'll dive into it. Someone sent me this from Mad Mike's video, and basically it's a tweet where Harada says, we definitely needed this update, and they're talking about being able to put any character you want on the main menu screen. Harada says, we will be open to displaying customized characters in the future. And this is pretty massive. Customize, so your shop outfits, your created outfits, display it on the screen. That's something people were surprised that they didn't do already. But then also, I was surprised that they didn't have it random. You can select which character you want, but let us select random, so every time we go to the menu, it's a different character with a different outfit. That's the true end goal, in my opinion. But I love that Harada is always open to ideas. Now, switching gears and talking about the competitive scene, we have FDX. FDX today, to my surprise, lost the sponsor. The sponsorship that FDX had with Disguised has come to an end. It says, today we announced the release of FDX games. FDX was an amazing player for DSG who not only competed but helped grow the communities he was in. He taught us a lot about the FGC and was always eager to try something new. At first, I was thinking like, wait a minute, is this a result of the Tekken 8 controversy? Because, you know, there's been a lot of discussions about what's better, Tekken 8, Tekken 7. Tekken 8's kind of in a bad position. And I was like, there's no way the fallout has reached this far. And that is in fact true. It did not reach that far. The reason why they let go of FDX is simply because they are focusing more so on League of Legends than anything else. They also let go a couple of their Valorant players for the same reason, right? And I think FDX offers a lot of stuff to help the players and teach the players, and also is a very good tournament player when he does show up. So I think FDX will be picked up very soon by someone. If I had the money, I would sponsor FDX. Now, when we switch over to the Japanese side of players, this was also fascinating. So they put out this mysterious tweet here. It's in Japanese, and they tagged 3 professional players. Once you translate it, it says, notice regarding the insurance of professional licenses. The following 3 players have been issued professional licenses for the Tekken series by the manufacturer. What they're basically saying here is, in the country of Japan, in order for you to be considered like a real, like professional, like athlete, like competitor, you have to be licensed. And for these guys, and there's probably many others out there who aren't licensed. Like, I'll just talk about Rank Chu specifically because I'm more aware of his story. Rank Chu kind of showed up very suddenly back in, like, I think 2017, 2018, I can't remember, but he showed up. His parents didn't even know he was competing. He showed up with Panda and won the whole thing. And ever since, bro has just been a force to be reckoned with. I don't know how high he placed in this year's tournament, but with this him getting his license and these 3 other guys, it's finally just official. Instead of him just being a guy who just shows up, now in the eyes of Japan, he's an actual real competitor, as well as these 2.